Hola a todos, welcome to your Hablando de la rutina sheet. I'm going to walk you through examples of how to practice for your speaking test. So what we have here is we have a table and we're going to fill in our table with some ideas. First, let's read the prompt. It says, speak with your partner about your everyday morning routine. That's what cotidiana means, every day. Think of activities you do from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you arrive at school. Use the present tense form of a verb to tell what you do at each time. And then we have like kind of the sections of our day. We'll say a las, so at what time, and then we'll start with a thing we do, and then we'll add another thing we do. For example, let's say, and by the way, this can be totally fictional, but it's easier if you try to stick with what you actually do. So let's say that I wake up at 6:30, but we'll say, I get up, so that's me levanto, oops, start off strong here, me levanto, I wake up, and then after I wake up, the first thing I do is I wash my face, so I would say, me lavo la cara. And of course, you're welcome to do whatever activities you actually do, but this is just what I'm going with for now. So I would say, a las 6:30, yo me levanto y también me lavo la cara. All set. And then to get ready, let's say that takes me 10 minutes to get up and wash my face. So at 6:40, I put on my makeup, and then I also put clothes on. So me maquillo y me pongo la ropa. After that, we'll say, eventually I go downstairs and I have breakfast right at 7. So I'll say, I go to the kitchen, voy, that's a O, by the way. Voy a la cocina, y yo desayuno. I eat breakfast. If I wanted to, I could add more details about what I eat, but that's not really answering the prompt. It doesn't really matter. And then I go to school, but let's say that, notice these have all been yo verbs, things that I do. Levanto, maquillo, voy, lavo, pongo, desayuno. If I want to add some variety in here, I can say, instead of I go to school, I can say my mom takes me to school. So just like me maquillo, I make up myself. If my mom takes me, that's me lleva. She takes me to school. And again, since we're going for verb variety, I've got some yo forms. I've got an irregular. I've got irregular reflexive, regular reflexive. I've got just regular verbs. I've got she. Let's add in a nosotros. Say llegamos a las, I don't know, what time do we get to school? 7:20? Takes us literally 5 minutes to get there? Sure, why not? So there I have it. That's not everything I'm gonna say, but it's a great starting point. So I can practice with my friend by saying a las 6:30 yo me levanto. También me lavo la cara. And then a las 6:40 or a las 7 menos 20 yo me maquillo. También me pongo la ropa. But that's getting kind of redundant. You don't have to say también every time. You can just say y. If you're looking for some more transition words, I put these all the way at the bottom for you. So you can take these guys, you can copy them and paste them up here if you want, or you can write them in if you want as well. That's totally fine. So if it's up to you. If you want to say, hey, you know what? A las 6:30 yo me levanto, también me lavo la cara. A las 7 menos 20 me maquillo y me pongo la ropa. And then, luego, a las 7, yo voy a la escuela. No, yo voy a la cocina. And después, desayuno. Right? See how I'm taking these transition words and throwing them in here, and it all blends together. So that's something to keep in mind. Make sure you have your transition words as you go. Here's an extra one. It's the same idea as the first one, but this is all in the present tense, and here we want to take the preterite tense. So I'm going to do similar ideas with just a little bit different words and different ideas. So let's say this time I wake up at 7, but I'm going to say I wake up, not I get up, me levanto, but I wake up at 7. Because guys, let's be honest, mornings are hard, and this morning, yes, I woke up, me desperté, but I did not get up right away. First, I checked. We have chequear is to check. So I checked. Yo chequeé mi teléfono or mi celular or something. I checked my phone first. And I already know I want to say that's first. So instead of también, I'll put primero right here as a little reminder of what I want to say. Okay, so after I did that, 20 minutes later, me vestí, I got dressed, and I combed my hair, me peiné. Notice how I got dressed and then combed my hair, so that my hair didn't get all weird when I got dressed. 10 minutes later, we'll say 7:30. So for breakfast, I don't have to say I ate breakfast like this. I can literally say what I ate. So say, yo comí pan y una manzana. Again, these are all totally examples, just to make it your own. So I ate bread and an apple. Probably should have had protein, but now the box is full, so whatever. And then, of course, after I ate breakfast, I brushed my teeth. So me cepillé los dientes. Notice how I could have said I brushed my hair, me cepillé el pelo, y me cepillé los dientes, but that's kind of redundant, so I went with combed instead. And then finally, for going to school, we're just rapid succession here, just nailing them out. I don't have to say I went to school, I can just say I left, yo salí, and then I arrived at school, llegué a la escuela, a las, what time did we get at school? Right on time. Right at 8. Sure. Why not? Keeping in mind some transition phrases. That's not what I wanted. Let's see, will this work? Nice. Okay, sweet. We'll want to add some transition phrases in there as we read it. Let's say, bueno, a las 7 yo me desperté y primero chequeé mi teléfono. Also, notice you don't have to say these in this order. You can switch. So you can say, me desperté a las 7 y primero chequeé mi teléfono. Después, a las 7:20 me vestí y me peiné. Entonces, 10 minutos después, look at me. I didn't even say literal the time. I just, 10 minutos después. That was a beautiful transition. 10 minutos después comí pan y una manzana y luego me cepillé los dientes. A las 8:20 salí y llegué a la escuela a las 8. Boom. I should have thrown in a finalmente on there. But that's okay. Something else that's not even on here that I just thought of is a topic sentence and a concluding sentence. So if I'm asking about a routine, what was your routine like, especially if it was this morning, esta mañana, this morning's routine, I would want to start out by saying esta mañana, this morning was, however it went. If it was slow, if it was fast, if it was busy, if it was a struggle, fue una lucha. It was a struggle, but I don't really talk about that. It's a struggle. So just say, fue ocupada. It was busy. Sure. So that's a good way to introduce all of your ideas. For our last draft, we're not talking about ourselves anymore. We're talking about someone else. So we're going to work with our partner, and then we're going to describe his or her routine. So let's ask our partner to fill in these ideas, and then we will put them in the he or she perspective. I'm just going to pretend he's a guy. But now I want you to use estar and a verb. That's going to be ando or yendo to say the present progressive, to say what he is doing at each time. So what is he doing at the time? So let's say I've got my pal, and you know what, guys? He's a real morning owl? No, night owl. Morning, early bird. That's it. Okay, anyway. And he gets up at 5. Okay, but we want to use estar and ando yendo. Now, because it's he, we're going to be using está in literally all of these things. So, está across the board. Look at this exponential growth right here. Bonus math lesson. Okay, anyway. So he is getting up. We would say levantando. And then you have an option. You could either do está levantándose or se está levantando. It is completely up to you. And then what else is he doing? He's showering. So we can say se está duchando or está duchándose. Either one is good. Okay, and then he's got rapid succession. 10 minutes later. Now it is 5:10 and he's shaving. So se está afeitando. And then after you shave, you should wash your face. And by wash, I mean dry. So se está secando la cara. This would be a great place to throw in some extra details if you want. Está secándose con una toalla. He's drying his face with a towel. If you want, throw in some extra vocab in there. Because shaving takes him 5 minutes. So son las 5:15, so 5:15. And what is he doing? Well, he's eating breakfast now. Está comiendo cereal. He's eating cereal. Sure. Notice we don't have a se because comer, he's not eating himself. So that doesn't have that se on there. What else is he doing? He's bebiendo. He's drinking orange juice. Yeah, jugo de naranja. I was going to go with apple juice, but we talked about apples earlier. So, jugo de naranja. And then finally, he is leaving at 5:20. Not only is he an early bird, he just gets really fast. He's going to school. Ready for this? So you have ir, which is a IR verb. So you would want to say está yendo a la escuela, but this I changes to a Y, and that's literally it. Está yendo a la escuela. He's going to school. Or está saliendo para la escuela. Está viajando a la escuela. I don't know, whatever you want to say. And then what is he doing? What is he doing in the car on the way to school? Well, what everybody does when they're by themselves in the car, of course. Because why not? Again, we're adding transitions in our phrases. So if I wanted to talk about my friend, I would say, bueno, a las 5 de la mañana, él se está levantando. También él está duchándose. Luego, a las 5:10, él se está afeitando y se está secando la cara con una toalla. Más tarde, a las 5:15, está comiendo cereal y está bebiendo jugo de naranja. Oh, by the way, you don't have to do this again. You say, está comiendo cereal y bebiendo jugo de naranja. Finalmente, a las 5:20, él está yendo a la escuela y también está cantando en el auto. So there you go. Those are some examples of what to say. Be sure to include a wide variety of vocab, those transition phrases, and read the instructions carefully. But have a wonderful time chatting with each other on your routines. And yes, it is always wonderful to sing in the shower, in the car, through life. Have a great time.